Styling and profiling.
Yes, sir. Whenever you can start a show with the one, the only, the nature boy, Ric Flair. If you will.
A little Flair time.
I'm the Make a Dream Dust the Road, the son of a plumber. If you will, live and in public. Here on the mothership on TBS. No, I'm kidding. Hi. Welcome. I'm trying to do my best Knox 2.5 impression. With my aviators.
Sunglasses?
Yeah, with the aviators. Anyhow, hi, I'm Dr. Pepper, and that's Chris. Welcome.
Dr. Pepper, and I'm just Chris.
And he's just Chris. No. Welcome back to Talkin Ish with Dub and Chris. Two shiny bald heads talking ish about sports and other things live. And of course, as always, we got to Speak Life, of course. Home of the unnamed sports show you can catch twice a week here on Gorilla Cross Sports with Quan59 being your host and doing the things on the ones and twos. 5-9, are you okay? You took a double whammy last night.
Yeah, I was way more mad about the Knights lost because I didn't expect Lakers to win. They were just on the other TV. Mm-hmm. But then when you look up, you're like, oh, they're winning by 9. And then that 9-point lead disappears. You're not happy, but you're still like, okay, maybe this is the time they could actually hold a lead. But I was more upset about the Golden Knights. I'm ready for Darvin Ham to be gone, so I was already giving his farewell speech before the game even started.
Can he take the bum with him?
No, they actually.
I mean, he did pretty well.
The Lakers actually want LeBron back. Genie wants him back.
Who wouldn't? Look at his stats.
And there's also that $51.4 million option.
He's going to opt out of that.
And get more?
$164 for 3 years.
Good Lord.
Is that what they're offering him?
Sheesh.
I think that's what the max he can get, which he would get. And he would get his son to be the 14th man on the team.
Don't they have to draft him?
Or sign him as a free agent because he probably won't get drafted. But yeah, they can draft him.
Why wouldn't he get drafted? He's a decent player.
Lakers might draft him in the second round.
He needs 2 more years in college. I know LeBron said he wants to play 2 or 3 more years just so he can play with the son, but Bronny needs some polishing. And
see, I've seen a lot of NBA players, Gil's Arena, and a lot of them on that show were saying that Bronny is actually better built for an NBA style than college.
Really?
So they're all like, yeah, he's actually an NBA player. Is he a great? They're not saying he's an all-star, but they're saying he's more built for that. So, I don't know. I trust NBA players more than my own gut when it comes to that. But they could be wrong, too, because they've been wrong before.
Like some people talk about stuff like we'll get into that because I know a lot of my fan base is kind of irritated about the fact that they drafted Ricky Pearsall from Florida, but like I said, we'll get into that later. Anyhow,
please. I have questions.
We were talking about that before you came in.
Well, before we get into that, so what do you think is the problem with the Knights as they played so well to take home court away from the Stars and then come home and blow both games?
They low-key were doing that at the end of the regular season, playing great on the road and not playing that great at home. You can't depend on a goaltender only. You have to help him out.
You do.
And especially in game 3, we should have lost 7-1 in that game.
Like I said,
the one thing that I was seeing, and we were talking about this, unfortunately I was catching games when I was on the road, so I wasn't always able to watch the full game. But what I see differently from the Knights from last year to this year, besides the injuries, is actually something real simple. Rebounds. We don't talk about them in hockey because they don't look at them like rebounds, but missed shots that bounce off the board or get stopped
off the post.
They used to get that trash out of in front of the goalie all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's sitting there for another shot. So I think that's the biggest difference that I see with the Knights.
Well, then last night they were every single. We had possession of the puck almost the whole entire third period. And every single shot would be straight to Ottinger's chest. So every single shot.
It's just going straight to him.
Not
going stick side, not going
at all.
glove
You're
side,
not making him work hard.
Not going up top.
And he's a great goalie.
Yes, he is.
When you're doing that to a great goalie and not making it tough for him, you're not going to get anything past him like that.
No. You need to do something different. And I think that one of the biggest things that I saw, like I said, was I didn't really care for their stick work in the game that I was watching, which would have been game 2, and I didn't care for their defense. Even though they won in Dallas, I didn't care for it. It didn't look like it looked last year. Last year, they were very active on the defensive side. This year, they look very inactive on the defensive side.
You want to talk about block shots, though? The Stars had 24 block shots. Knights only had 14.
Really?
Yeah, really. And the Knights had 11 giveaways. Stars only 2.
Well, that would also play into it. Turnovers are going to hurt you no matter what you're playing.
Yes, it is. Now, I mean,
and 2 of those goals they scored were off turnovers.
Yes.
And what was the final?
4-2. 4-2. It was tied.
And one was a empty net.
Empty net, yeah, of course. But I mean,
at the end, they're trying to put some more pressure on them. Yeah.
I mean, the game was, I think it was tied 2-2 going into the third, if I'm not mistaken. And then,
well, it's like
it was 2-2 tie going into the third.
Yeah.
And then, Dallas scored at the 18:34 mark, and then of course, the empty netter, and there you have it. So back to Dallas it is for Game 5, and right now, Bruins trying to get on to the next round and take on
Toronto,
the Panthers, but the Leafs and the Bruins are tied 1-1. That's in the second period. Also, the Hurricanes trying to say bye-bye to the Islanders and have a date with the Rangers in round 2. They're up 3-1 with a minute 37 to go in the first period. Later on tonight, Avalanche chance to end the Jets in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and this could be an all-Canadian elimination night in the Maple Leaf country as I take that back. Only team that advance is the Oilers and Canucks. The Canucks have a chance to end the Predators tonight, and tomorrow the Oilers look a chance to end the Kings in the Wayne Gretzky Bowl, as I like to call it, tomorrow night. Right now, it's at the half between the Sixers and the Knicks at the Garden, and right now the Knicks holding on to a 6-point lead at the half, 49-43. Brunson scored 49 or 47 in Game 4, which basically they need all those points because they only won by 5. Right now, Cavaliers back at home, and Quan was right on one prediction. He said it would be 2-2 coming back to Cleveland, and he was right.
A close series when you look at the 2-2 tie, but the worst series in the playoffs so far because every game's been a blowout.
Yes, it has.
So the series itself is close. The games have been trash.
Yes.
I would like to see 2-2 with all the games being, 5-point game, 2-point games, but they've all been double-digit wins. I think all of them have been. There might have been one where it was single digits.
So what? All the wins have come at home for the teams.
Yeah.
Home court has held serve,
and I knew that was going to happen.
Series.
To me, they're the same exact teams.
Okay, here. Okay, Game 1, Cavaliers won 97-83. Game 2, Cavaliers won 96-86. Game 3 and Games 4 were complete massacres, 121-83 and 112-89. So Cleveland didn't even touch 90 of the 2 games in the Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida right now.
And that's wild to play so different on the road.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
16-9, Cleveland up on Orlando with 5:50 to go. That game's on NBA TV.
And if he hits this, nope, he missed. I was going to say it'd be 16-12.
And in the
he's
night,
ready to go to LA.
And who? Spider?
Yeah.
Mr. Donovan Mitchell.
He doesn't want to keep playing on NBA TV during his playoff career. Come on. All their games have been on NBA TV. I think Game 1 was on ABC, and every other game's been on NBA TV.
No, I think they had one on TNT. Anyhow, in the nightcap, the Bucks might be put out of their misery by the Indiana Pacers. No Giannis, no Dame in Game 5.
No coach.
No.
Which means no defense.
Well, now again, when they made this decision to get rid of Griffin and bring in Doc, I think they were 30-13 when that happened.
30-13.
30-13. So 30-13. But yeah, because Giannis wasn't happy with how Mr. Griffin was coaching, you decided to bring in Doc, who was sitting on the booth with J.J. Redick and Doris Burke on ESPN, and now
J.J. wasn't there at the time
in the broadcast booth.
It was Doris and Mike Breen.
It was Doris Breen and Doc, and then J.J. took Doc's spot. And
now Doc doesn't have a spot to go back to next year because J.J.'s killing it.
Yeah, but J.J. now is being considered to be the next head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. There's interest in Charlotte.
Yeah, until he finds out there's a Laker job open with the guy he does the podcast with. I mean,
with Darvin Ham. He does a podcast with Darvin Ham?
He has a podcast with LeBron James.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Started about a month ago, 2 months ago.
Interesting.
Yep.
A Dookie and a Buckeye. Interesting. Because we all know LeBron would have went to Ohio State if he would decide to go the college route.
But he didn't.
But he did not.
So, yeah, don't be surprised to see JJ as Lakers head coach. Because Darvin's gone. It just hasn't happened yet. I've been refreshing my Bleacher Report app all day, waiting for the announcement.
His Bleacher Report, ESPN, The Athletic.
Like, why have you guys not announced the firing of Darvin Ham?
Hold on. Is that a sure thing or just
Darvin Ham is gone.
He's gone. It's
zero chance.
If they bring him back, you might hear you might hear Laker fans riot, which is rare.
There's zero chance.
But I mean, last 2 years, you lose 8 of 9 in the playoffs to the defending champs, which again, give Denver all their due. I mean, hence why they hold the crown. I think the winner of Nuggets Timberwolves will represent the Western Conference in the finals, and that's no disrespect to OKC because OKC is a damn good basketball team.
So, but I got a question for that. Everybody out there can shoot me for saying it. I don't care. If you're a LeBron fan, hey, kudos to you.
Here comes shade. Here comes shade.
But if you've got a player or players that were made out of anything besides
fortitude,
paper, and LeBron and Davis, I think that we would actually, because I'm a Laker fan, but I'm a Showtime Laker fan. Grew up watching Showtime, and watching what I see now is bum time. Time. I've seen LeBron flop. Everybody, he's such a good athlete, and he's bigger than Kobe and this and that. Yeah, but he flops more than friggin' most pancakes out of a batter. This dude,
he flops more than IHOP.
That's annoying.
It's
because he wasn't getting back on defense yesterday. Because every time he went up, he was trying to act like he's drawing a foul.
But here's my question.
But he does get fouled a lot, and they don't call it. But at the same time, just keep going, bro. Get back on D.
So does Curry. Curry's a 2-time MVP and a 4-time champion, and he can't get a call for his life.
If you have those situations, you get fouled, no call. Don't sit there and argue with the ref. Get your ass back on defense and go play some ball. You saw Kobe. Kobe never argued with the refs. You never saw Kobe sitting there friggin' crying.
No, Kobe
would
just cuss your ass out.
Exactly.
Get a technical and would still say F you, I don't care.
Exactly. But at least if it was going on all game, it wasn't until near the end that he would be doing that. If it was in the middle of the game, Kobe knew I've got to go play defense.
And it was strategic the way Jordan and Kobe and most superstars will complain to the refs.
Exactly.
At a certain time, they're not doing it all game to where the refs are like, yo, you're annoying me all game. They do it at specific times to put fear into the refs to make them say, like, okay, I gotta call next time because I did miss a call. But if you say you missed every single time I missed a shot, you missed a call, like you can't do that.
And that's LeBron.
But let's face it, LeBron's 39, his 20th year, had an amazing season, played 70-something games. All his stats in the playoffs were better than the regular season, which his regular season stats were amazing. So I'm not a LeBron hater. If he left, I wouldn't be mad because I love watching OKC in Minnesota and seeing what a young squad can do.
It's trending. It's trending in a new direction.
So yeah, I mean, I want to be able to have a young squad soon, but at the same time, like Lakers, they have a lot of assets this year where they can make some trades. They have 3 first-round draft picks they could put in a trade. So I'm not saying Lakers are done. If LeBron and AD could stay healthy next year too, like they could be right here. If we got blown out every game against Denver instead of being a 1-point game, 2-point game, 2 last-minute shots to win,
Jamal Murray,
Lakers could have easily been up 3-1.
Yes, they could.
They couldn't close out a game, which I blame that a lot on the coach and a lot on shot selection, which that's the coach to draw up a play. They didn't have any timeouts last night.
Well, again, here's the kicker.
But they were in it the whole time with the defending champions, so I'm not mad at the Lakers season.
And here's the kicker about this one. Yes, it will say they went down, they lost in the series 4-1, which is true. But the Lakers led for 165 minutes out of all 5 of those games and only trailed for 59 minutes.
What did that get them?
1 win. 1 win. I'm just saying that's a crazy stat.
It is a crazy stat.
It's a crazy stat because you led for most of this. You led most of the time in this series, but yet you only get 1 win.
So here's something that I would love to talk about. and I want both of you guys' input.
Okay.
Well, as soon as Quan gets done. But I want both of y'all's input.
I think he's trying
on
to get you in
this.
focus.
Yeah, he's trying to get me in the middle of the screen because I keep moving. But
moving.
There is I really don't believe in always blaming players for close game losses. I don't care what anybody says, and I'm not talking about.
He just loves calling him that name.
What?
No, looking at the YouTube feed.
Oh, who said what now?
Well, my very good friend Mr. Cleophas Jones, who loves to call LeBron Floppy.
God, that's a fitting name. I love it.
And of course, my good buddy Mr. Mason, co-host of the Muslim Dub Show.
He flops more than, like I said, pancakes. But anyway, so I can't always blame players for close game losses.
Oh.
As I was saying, the reason why I can't do that, and I don't believe in doing that, is that I really do think that close games, whether it's in football, whether it's in baseball, basketball, any sport, it comes down to coaching. It comes down to understanding the what's going on within the game and understanding when a key timeout is needed to be called. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, because in my years of playing and being a player coach, I've fucked that up more than most.
You can count, yeah.
But I've also done it where we've won games because of it. And taking those last second shots and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. Letting the defense line up. My favorite one to this day that got us the win was you couldn't kneel during the flag games.
Oh, no victory formation.
No, couldn't kneel, but you could run out of bounds.
Oh, could you?
Or you could run down the field and run out of bounds, and you could do that until you got a first down, whatever you wanted to do.
Interesting.
This dude kept throwing the ball this quarterback kept throwing the ball into the same spot for 3 downs. And I told my safety, I said, look, he's going to throw it in that spot again. Be there. And we still had time on the clock. He picked the pass, took it back for a touchdown, won us a game.
Oh, boy.
So it's all a matter of making the right decisions at the right times. And I'm not going to sit, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've done it a snot low. But the thing about it is you've got to be able to do those things. We're just talking about the Lakers losing by points. Was that a coaching difference? I think so.
I really think so.
And if you had a different coach, would that have been different? And I'll even go back to
last night. They were up by 9. Darvin Ham, even the commentators were like, now would be a good time to call a timeout when Denver cut it to 5.
Yeah. Kill the momentum.
They didn't call a timeout till after Denver finally took the lead, went up by 2, and then Darvin Ham decided to call a timeout. No other coach would do that.
No.
Phil Jackson, even though he would let his team play through things,
he knew the difference.
It's not just the momentum. It's the momentum in Denver when you can't breathe. Your players are not breathing right now.
Yeah, they're
all hunched over, and you're not calling a timeout. It's little things like that makes you a decent coach or a trash coach, and I think he's a trash coach.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's a good human. I'm not mad at Darvin Ham for being, but as a coach, I think it's the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And he just everything, the rotations, keeping players in too long in the fourth, not having a timeout to end the game when the Lakers were down by 2 with 3.6 seconds left and had to try to throw a Hail Mary because they didn't have a timeout. 3.6 seconds for a final shot is a lot of time.
It is.
If you could advance the ball to half court.
Yep.
You can get a layup off that.
Let me ask you something. And I'm both of you are 49er fans.
Correct.
So I got the right people to ask this to.
Super Bowl 59 winners.
So what I'm saying is in that Super Bowl that we just couple of months away from.
Darvin Ham's fault.
That I still haven't healed from.
It's Darvin Ham's fault, too.
But let me ask you, what was the one thing that you guys saw that the 49ers were doing that were taking advantage of KC?
Taking advantage of?
Yeah, what were they doing?
Run the ball.
Exactly. So my point is this. If you guys had a different coach, and I'm even going to throw a coach at you, if you had a coach like Belichick, where we know he takes advantage of when he sees something in the defense, he takes advantage of it over and over and over and over again until you stop it. You best believe it's coming.
Which is why I give Steve Spagnuolo credit, because he saw that Brock Purdy was torching them when they were in zone defense.
Yes, and he went man.
And he went man.
Yes.
And Ayuk and Debo could not get past McDuffie. He could not get past Snead, and that proved to play a huge difference in that game.
But what does that if I'm a coach and I see what you're doing, I know for a fact that now you have got your corners with their heads turned, running, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your defensive line cannot stop the run, my guy is going to be running for yards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying, if there was any other coach besides Shanahan, well, I won't say any other coach. If there was a coach that understood
I would swap in his dad in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
I would swipe out.
Definitely.
I would swipe out Cal for Mike in the fourth quarter.
And that's what I'm saying.
Maybe that's what he needs to start doing in big games, like have a little tag team where you get to
like, okay, Dad.
Well, is his dad on the head on the coaching staff?
No.
He's there in the games and he will consult at times,
Yeah.
but he's just there being a fan.
But I mean,
his son.
that's why I said a Belichick.
It would make the most sense. But
Belichick would
maybe Mike just doesn't want to get back in the game and coach.
Belichick would have been a better choice right there because he would have seen the fact, hey, this is what's going on. Let's run the damn ball. Let's make them chase us, especially after halftime because they were still behind.
Tire their ass out.
Exactly.
Well, I've never understood that because that's not the first time Shanahan's done that.
It's not.
Not the second time he's done it.
No.
It's not the third time he's done it to lose 3 Super Bowls.
No, but what I'm saying is and going back to the whole thing about coaching, when you have a good coach during the regular season, but you have a coach that when it comes down to close games like this, does he step up? Because what I've always seen is teams take on the personality of their coach.
They do.
And if
Absolutely.
your coach is soft, guess what your team's playing like? If your coach is hard-nosed and doesn't let up and has that we're taking them attitude, that's the way your players play.
Well, the problem with Darvin Ham, he's a fan of LeBron and AD. So you're not going to give respect when you're a fan and you're just, what do you guys want to do? You know what I'm saying?
Can't be a fan.
And LeBron's not going to really respect a coach. And this is what Lakers should have thought of before they hired him. He beat that coach in the playoffs. That when LeBron scored 23 in a row against the Pistons.
25 against the Pistons, one of the greatest things I've ever
Darvin
seen in my
Ham
life.
was part of that game. And you're not going to respect someone you did that to as a coach. And it's the player's job to execute. It's the coach's job to play chess against each other, like you said. The other team is making adjustments. And are you making those adjustments back? Because it's the chess game between coaches during the game. It's the player's job to execute. But what are you doing to make those adjustments? And Darvin Ham never did all season. Not even, I would feel a little bit different if he was like Shanahan, where he's a great coach in the regular season. Mm-hmm. But LeBron and AD both played over 70 games. They had to play in the play-in still.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That to me is coaching. You had your players there.
Mm-hmm.
That's coaching. You guys should have been a top 5 seed in the West already to have home court advantage, hopefully, in the first round of the playoffs instead of having to play in the play-in and then play the champions in the first round.
Well, heck, I mean, that's just like my Warriors. All the 10-plus points lead that they blew, and they blew 13 of them. And that's why they ended up losing in the playing in Sacramento, because they easily could have been in the top 6 seed to where they probably could have been 6 seed or 5 seed playing either the Clippers, Mavericks, or...
All the blame on the Warriors goes to Draymond Green for missing 21 games.
That too.
He doesn't get suspended twice at the beginning of the year. They probably are 4th seed in the West.
But Draymond can't keep his hands to himself.
That's why you got to go.
Yep. Can't keep him. It's, you know what, and the thing about it is, it's like I went back and watched the Dallas Packers game in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And why did they? Well, it comes down to what you were talking about.
You're torturing yourself.
Why am I torturing myself? The fact of the matter is, I watched a defense that collapsed 100% because they changed everything about that defense.
Their scheme
in the secondary, on the line. Everything. Yeah. When the Packers overloaded a side to run the ball, Dallas didn't change shit to move with them. No adjustments whatsoever. Then they've been playing man all season, and they decide to go to cover 2, where they're no longer playing man. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? You're playing zone now?
Tom Landry would have not done that.
It's like you're basically telling Green Bay, hey, you know what? Screw it. Go ahead and do what
Aaron
you do.
Jones, here you go.
Yeah.
There's a seal here and a seal there. Go in the alley.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the thing about it is that the alleys were so wide because, again, there was no adjustments to Green Bay's adjustments for running the damn ball. It's like, what are you thinking?
They weren't.
There weren't. There was no, I mean, dude, if you watch the game and you can see.
Well, at least you guys had a good draft.
We had a decent draft.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did.
You traded your first pick.
You what?
Didn't you trade your first round pick?
We dropped back two spots.
Traded down?
Dropped back 3 spots. Still got the offensive tackle that they were going to get, and wound up because they didn't have a number 4 pick because we traded it to you guys for Trey Lance.
Thank you.
So we got another third round pick out of it. I don't see what
I saw a lot of C grades for Dallas's draft. I don't, and I'm not one of those people that like pays attention to the grades that these people give anyways.
Mm-hmm. Every grade that I saw was a B-, B to a B-.
Okay. Yeah,
and the reason why some of them were even giving them a B- and a B instead of an A is because everybody was saying the same thing. They needed a running back and they didn't get one.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
no, they didn't.
They brought Zeke back home.
Feed him. Let him eat.
Again. As I said,
I told
needed
you that
a
was
running
happen,
back. Needed a running back and didn't get one.
All right. Well,
I'm not mad at Zeke going back. I think it's going to be good for him and the Cowboys.
Well, here's the recap of what happened in round 1. All right. So, of course, as we know, Caleb Williams went first to the
big mistake.
Bears.
Huge mistake.
Jaden Daniels goes to the Commies. Drake May goes to the Patriots. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes
You're not going to name all 32 players, are you?
I am.
Uh-oh.
Marvin Harrison to the Cardinals. Joe Alt, son of John, goes to the Chargers, so the family stays in the AFC West. Malik Neighbors, who's going to throw him the ball? I don't know, but he goes to the East Rutherford Giants.
That would be Fred Flintstone.
Mr. Flintstone from Slate Rock Company. J.C. Latham goes to the Titans, big offensive tackle. And perhaps the most shocking thing around 1, the Atlanta Falcons. Not even telling Kirk Cousins, hey, we're going to draft Michael Penix Jr. They draft Michael Penix Jr.
Now, if you want
real
to talk,
quick on Penix Jr., he's an old player. He's an old college player. He's going to be an old rookie.
Yes.
Yeah. He's,
so for him to have to
25,
wait 3 years before he gets to play, he's going to be old by the time he starts playing. Yeah. That was stupid. I don't understand.
Well, the reason why they say they did that originally, because I guess the GM had to answer to the owner, because the owner was like, "What the hell did you just do?" And his rationale behind it was, we don't know if Kirk Cousins is going to be healthy enough to finish the season.
Cleophas Jones, you stop that right now. Damn it, you stop it with that right now.
What do you say now?
He said in the comments, Zeke is going to have a new mid-drift shirt.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't wear those in Boston in the winter.
No. Can wear them in Dallas.
He's happy to be inside again.
Show
my belly.
He'll be happy to be back in Dr. Pepper world.
Philly takes the lead.
Oh, the Sixers up by a deuce in the third period, and
they're both deuces. Anyway,
and the Blue Jays, the Maple Leafs, and the Bruins are still tied.
They've been playing in the playoffs like the Blue Jays.
Roma Duzier goes to the Bears, and of course the Vikings trade up to get their guy in J.J. McCarthy.
Listen, Bears are stacked if Caleb Williams is good at all.
They need an offensive line.
Yeah, but I mean that wide receiving core is stacked.
Jets get Fasanu from Penn State.
Dude, and I went and watched Caleb Williams again.
Oh boy,
I don't like him.
Man,
the more I watch him, I don't like
him. The more I watch him, the more it's like there's too many.
I hope I'm wrong about him.
I do too. There's too many throws where I'm going, what the hell were you looking at?
And Sean Payton's going to put his basket in a bunch of Bo Nix baskets. As Bo Nix, drafted by the
Denver Broncos.
Huh? Okay. And then my guy from Georgia.
Bo Nix and Zach Wilson are the same player to me.
Well,
pretty damn close.
Have fun, Sean Payton, with those new ugly ass uniforms the Denver Broncos will be wearing this season. Those are hideous. Worse than the Atlanta Falcons' current uniforms. Anyhow, Brock Bowers, Georgia Bulldog, by way of Napa, California, drafted by the Raiders.
Who's throwing to him?
It's either going to be the mustache or
the stash,
baby Pubert. Because
we might as well call him porn stash.
Well, I mean, no, because Minshew has the stash, and then Aiden O'Connell has that Addams Family baby Pubert mustache.
True.
So there you have it with that. I mean,
so we got one porn stash and one
baby stash.
Baby stash.
Yes,
yeah.
Peach Fuzz.
Minshew is by far the better quarterback.
You're not wrong. I agree with that. Fauga, big tackle from Oregon State, goes to the Saints. And Mr. Latu will play with Mr. DeForest Buckner in Indianapolis. And then this pick made my good friend, Mr. Josh Perneta, very mad, as his beloved Longhorn, Byron Murphy II. I have to see him twice a year. He's in Seattle. Dallas Turner. Edge rush from Alabama goes to the Vikings. My guy from Georgia, Mr. Mims, protecting Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. And Chris's guy, Mr. Jared Verse from Florida State, I got to see him twice a year as he's an Inglewood Ram. Troy Fatanu goes to Pittsburgh. Chop Robinson gives the Dolphins some help. Mr. Mitchell goes to Toledo. Brian Thomas will go to Jacksonville and catch balls from Sunshine. Mr. Arnold, great pick by the Lions from Alabama. Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle from Arizona, goes to Green Bay. The Buccaneers grab a center, Graham Barton. Darius Robertson goes to Arizona. And another pick that made Josh mad. Another Texas Longhorn going to Kansas City. Xavier Worthy giving Mahomes a target.
So dumb.
Tyler Guyton, drafted by Chris's beloved Cowboys from Oklahoma. Nate Wiggins, cornerback from
big
Clemson.
Boy.
And Xavier Leggett, drafted by the Panthers. And my fan base, they're 50-50 talking about Ricky Pearsall being drafted 31st by the Niners, and that's round 1.
Because you could have got him in the 3rd round.
Here's what I say to that. They probably felt like he wouldn't have been there.
Well, they could have got him in the 2nd round then.
And if that's the person here's the thing. If you have a guy, a specific guy that you want, and you fear that he's not going to be there or he's projected to be there, if you feel like that's your guy, go get your guy. Now, what I think,
you could have traded down 3 spots to get in the 2nd round to get him and got another pick somewhere.
Again, I don't disagree with anything that you're saying. All I'm saying is they felt like he was going to be picked up by somebody else. Okay, JP, I know you're still wanting to pull out your hair. I get it. Howbeiver, we know for a fact.
Did you say howbeiver?
Howbeiver, yes, I did.
Okay.
We know for a fact next year, both of them are not going to be there in regards to Debo and Ayuk. One's either going to get traded or one's just going to get flat out cut.
Well, in 2 seasons. Not next season.
Well, they're preparing for life without one of them.
Well, I know Debo's on the trade block.
Yes.
And I saw
Neither
Ayuk
of them are
was
getting
too.
traded this year.
Not this year, but Debo's probably the likeliest one to get traded.
It's going to be hard to trade him because of his cap hit.
And that's going to be another hard thing to do. But
Yep.
Parag Marate
Because what
finds
is
ways.
this, his second year of his new contract?
This will be his 3rd.
Is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
See, I thought it was the second. Yeah, you're right. I think
No,
it
it's
is
gonna
the
be his
third.
3rd.
I think it's the 3rd.
Either way, here's what Pearsall had in his rookie year that Debo and Ayuk had. Pearsall is a better route runner by far than Debo and Ayuk were in their rookie seasons. Not to mention they can use him in the return game. So again, I understand why they drafted him. I don't know if I would draft him in the 1st round, but they felt like there was a need for him. Now, the draft.
What question did you ask me that Mizzles asked?
No. Because I know
Saying I need to answer.
no. Because I know you were high and you wanted Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon, the guard/center.
Yep.
You were high?
High on him.
High on him. He wanted his Cowboys to draft
He
him.
did say I was high, though.
Yeah, I'm like, man.
His
He
Cowboys.
said, well, I know you were high.
He
Throwing
wanted
you
his,
under the bus live
he
on the
wanted his
show.
Cowboys
Right.
to draft him because I said, "Where do you go?" He said, "O-line." He said, and he specifically named Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon that he wanted Jerry to draft him, but the Raiders did. And
You know what, though? Have you seen this kid, BB, that we did draft?
talking about the 2nd round draft pick.
I believe he's a 3rd round. First 3rd rounder that we had, or second 3rd rounder we had.
JP, are you guys doing a show tonight? Which, by the way, please check out the All Pro Jaffos on the Predator Brothers production YouTube channel.
But that was my thing, because I was like, we need a center, because I can't stay with what we had. And then they drafted this kid BB out of Kansas, and this kid is friggin' the real deal. I mean, watching him play, he played every position on the offensive line except center.
Okay.
And he's another massive mountain of a man at 330 pounds.
Well, they got your son on tonight. Your godson of Krypton on the All Pro Jaffos
Trey
tonight.
Robinson's on, huh?
So Mr. Robinson will be on the All Pro Jaffos. Please check him out at 7 p.m. on the Predator Brothers.
Well, you know he's gonna be talking shit.
Of course, just like his godfather of Krypton.
Yep.
So, what is your overall thoughts on your team's draft picks, the additions? What did you like? What you did not like? We'll go there.
What I didn't like was the fact that we didn't draft a running back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I didn't like.
Not at all? Not even in the later rounds?
No,
Not
because there was a particular running back from Texas, and I forgot his doggone name because
Brooks.
Brooks.
Yep.
Okay, because the Cowboys doctors did surgery on him, and I know that
There's
Cowboy
hesitation
fans
of him getting drafted.
Okay.
And he still went in the second round.
Yeah. I forgot who
High
drafted,
in the second round.
Who drafted him?
Dude, I want to say it was... Dude, it was somebody...
Okay, hold on.
Part of me wants to say Green Bay, but I can't remember.
I'll look for it. By the way, Mr. Allen, you have yourself a target now with Mr. Coleman from Florida State. Just want to tell you. Let's see. Where
he's got... Look.
No, he went to Carolina.
Carolina, that's it.
The Panthers.
But I mean, look, when you break down what the Cowboys did, and I look at what they needed, and they needed to revamp that offensive line. That offensive line was getting old. And one of the biggest pieces that I'm really scared about is when Zach Martin leaves. So to be able to pull through the players that they did, and a lot of their players are athletes. And Guyton was, the only knock against him was the fact that he was raw. But the kid's 6'7", 335 pounds.
You can coach him.
And he's very coachable. They said he's very athletic, and he can move. So, I mean, the bottom line is you take a look at him and you take a look at like a Tyron Smith when he came out. He's 19 friggin' years old. And everybody knocked him too. Oh, he's big, but is he coachable? And but he can move, you know? So here's another left tackle just like that.
You know who I really like? I really like the linebacker you took from Notre Dame.
I like him because of his motor. Yeah. But if you want to look at all of these guys, the one thing that is across the board for every draft pick that the Cowboys had, that's the one thing that everybody talked about. Oh, another high motor guy, another high motor guy, another high motor
Especially
guy.
Nealon from Western Michigan, their edge rusher.
Yes. He's high motor, but he's got to work on his bend. He's a little stiff around the edges, so he's got to work on his bend. So once he's able to, and I know that they'll work with him and get him going, but right now he's going to set that edge, and he's really good against the run.
Well, he's got a good DC and Mike Zimmer to coach him.
Oh yeah, Mike Zimmer is not a slouch.
No, he's not at all. I really for the Niners.
What's up, Scotty?
Oh, the Viking checking in. Hi, Scotty. How are you?
I got a question for Chris on the Niners.
Yeah.
Renardo Green. I don't watch Florida State.
Oh, the cornerback?
Yeah.
Decent. He's going to be slot. I think he's going to come in and play slot for you guys. He is actually
watch the film between him and Malik Neighbors when Florida State played LSU this year.
Yeah, he kind of locked him down.
He locked him down.
He kind of locked him down.
And we all know what kind of receiver Malik Neighbors can be.
Yeah.
He played Neighbors very well in that game.
But keep in mind, Florida State also plays in a man scheme.
Yeah.
In the secondary. So I think that you guys got a really good player. But I think that he's going to come in and play in the slot for you guys. He's got really good, quick twitch, very good, very very explosive out of his breaks, and I think that slot is where you guys had the problem last season, and I think he's going to come in and he might take over that slot for you guys right away, and he's going to lock down some wide receivers. That's for damn sure.
I really like Dominic Pooney from Kansas. He can play right now.
That was good.
That was
needed that.
Very good draft pick.
Which I wanted the O-line. I wanted the O-line first round, but
I mean they drafted Pooney.
We got a good one.
They took Kingston from USC. I really like Cowing from Arizona. Watch the Alamo Bowl film against Oklahoma if you don't know who Jacob Cowing is from Arizona. But I really like Tatum Bethune, the linebacker from Florida State, because obviously
he can run too.
You need somebody to plug in that gap before Dre Greenlaw returns.
Yes.
And you drafted Graham, you drafted D. Flowers, now you drafted Bethune. So I just really want to see who's going to be teaming with Fred Warner while Fred Warner waits for
I want to see
57 to get back in.
I want to see what he's able to do, because for Florida State, he was that a lot of times that deep quarter linebacker, and also covered running backs out of the backfield. And if you watch and look at Florida State's defensive numbers, there weren't a whole lot of flares that were going to running backs. So this kid can play.
No,
and he is a true sideline to sideline.
Oh yeah, he can
linebacker.
Shoot. He can shoot gaps.
Yes.
He can get between the tackles. Like
great run stopper.
He might
great
be
cover linebacker.
He might be a steal.
I would say
as a 7th round draft pick.
Yeah, for you guys for what he is. if he can come into his own in the pros. As long as he could come into his own in the pros, yes. Because the one thing that I did see a knock, if I was scouting him, and I would say he does take false steps from time to time, but he's so damn fast. He can make up for those false steps.
Well, he has a very good linebacking coach in longtime NFL linebacker Johnny Holland to coach him. So, I mean,
if he can coach out those false steps out of him and get him moving in the right direction right away, this kid will fly through holes. I mean, this kid is really, really fast, and he's a downhill player, and he brings it when he hits you.
Scotty tells Zay to kick some ass, as Scotty is watching
Definitely.
Zay wrestling tonight. So go get him, Zay. But by the way, congratulations once again to Mr. Shepard for his wife giving birth to a baby girl this past Sunday. And just today, our good friend back east, Mr. Hammond, welcomed another baby into the Hammond household. So congratulations to the Hammonds.
Dude, will you put a
Shepherds.
friggin' bow on that thing and quit friggin' popping out these kids? Jesus.
How many is that? Like 5 for the Hammonds now?
I want to say it's 5.
So he's got the basketball team. He's got the starting 5. And also,
no, you know what? It might be 6.
Oh, he's got the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here's a story. And also, congratulations to the Palmers, as they are expecting a child later on this year. So,
Baby girl too, I think.
no. They have not given out the gender yet, because when I was saying that, I had Shepard on my mind because he gave birth to a baby girl.
No, but I thought I read that when
That's
Darren
what
was
I
talking
thought,
about.
but there's
it's
no
not on there.
No
Okay.
gender yet. So
Okay.
they have not revealed yet. So, but nonetheless, shout out to Darren Palmer and the missus for the bundle of joy, bundle of the Evan that's
Definite.
coming out later on this year. Yeah, everybody's having babies.
Yeah, not me.
He's been there and done that.
Too damn old.
Now he's looking for retirement.
Come on. There's 30 years between me and my first child, 40 years between me and my second child. I don't want 52 or 53 between me and my third child.
All right, it is 65-61 late in the third. Knicks trying to eliminate the Sixers and go to round 2 and await the Pacers winner against the Bucks, which more likely is going to be Indiana tonight, as the Pacers have a chance to close that out. And that would be some old school 90s basketball, talking about Knicks and Pacers, minus Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing and Spike Lee. And in Cleveland,
Yo, money, is it the shoes?
it's got to be the shoes. It is 43-39 in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers, as it is a very tough defensive battle there in Cleveland on the shores of Lake Erie, and that's a very ugly rainbow shot.
So I'm going to throw this out there so everybody who's listening will know, but I think we just need to change this to a football show.
A football show?
Yeah. Talking NFL. Quan and I were talking about it a little bit beforehand. You know, really put a push on that, and we could talk other sports, but mainly a football show.
I'm okay with that.
On season, off season, we'll talk shit about your team.
I'm okay with that.
Bring up your teams. We'll talk about them too. Good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter.
Well, again, I just that right side of the offensive line is scary.
Who's your center?
Jake Brindle. Jake Brindle
He's
has been above average the last few seasons. He hasn't been the issue. The issue.
You know what? No, I was thinking about Philly with Kelsey being gone.
That's a good question. Who is there?
Because I don't know. Somebody was saying, "Oh, well, we could just easily move so and so over to center," and I'm like, "Okay, you're taking your best tackle
Oh, Scotty.
or guard and making him center." Okay.
Oh, Scotty.
Yeah, I'm not playing with anybody's balls on the show there, Scott. Just telling you.
Good old Vikings, Scott McCorkle. Anyhow, 702-608-3259. 702-608-3259 is the number if you want to call and talk some ish.
For the last 6 minutes.
For the last 6 minutes, yes. I mean, somebody might want to talk about their team and what they did in the draft or what they didn't do in the draft. But yeah.
So who do you think had the best draft?
Boy.
If Caleb Williams pans out, Bears had a good draft, but it you can't say now. Like, that's why I hate saying that. Like, who had the best draft? We don't know until they start playing.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd agree.
So
I mean, there's too many times where I've seen other Mel Kiper and some of these other guys that'll talk about the draft.
I really like what the Cardinals did. I mean,
I do like what the Cardinals did.
They add Marvin Harrison Jr. They added Darius Robinson, and then they added your boy Mr. Benson from Florida State.
Did they add another quarterback?
Did they draft another quarterback? They did not.
Then they're screwed. So what I was getting at was, or what I was saying before, was that the fact that I agree with you, and I've seen other people that are into the draft talk about drafted players, and so and so had an A draft, so and so had a B draft, and whatever. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, too, last year one of the things that they were talking about was how good of a draft the Carolina Panthers had.
Yeah,
how'd that help them?
Hasn't.
Exactly.
You can't really fully grade a draft till after 3 years.
Third year.
As much as I don't want to give them credit because I see them twice a year, I really like what Les Snead and Sean McVay did in Inglewood with the Rams, adding who they added.
Well, they needed to add a lot because losing Aaron Donald is a big loss.
Well, I mean, adding Verse and adding Jackson.
Verse is a great player, but I don't think Verse is going to come into his own. I think it's going to take him a year or two before he comes into his own. I don't see him being like that
right away.
Yeah, that guy that just hits in his rookie season, and you're just going, "Damn, we got something here."
Well, I mean, actually, I think Minnesota had a good draft as well. I mean, like
Minnesota had an all right draft. The thing that kills me for Minnesota is the fact that they have two good receivers. Their offensive line is suspect. Their defensive line is okay. Their secondary is suspect. And I didn't see them hit really hard on either side of the ball in those areas. And who do they have as a running back?
They still haven't figured that out yet.
Exactly.
By the way, kudos to the Jets for drafting Jordan Travis, who is still recovering from his injury. Hope to see the young man rebound and get back on the field one day.
Jordan Travis.
Your quarterback from
Florida State.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where he went?
He went to the Jets, yeah.
Wow. So they have two. Sorry, I was thinking Wilson was still there. No, Jordan Travis. And the thing about it is I think that kid is going to be on the down low. I think that kid is going to wind up being a really good pro player. And the reason why, he's talented not just from the standpoint of being a physical quarterback. He's gifted from the standpoint as being a leader, and you need to be a leader to be a good quarterback.
Ooh, Tennessee took Cedric Gray.
Yeah,
I was wondering where he went because he was very high on my linebacker list.
Linebacker has become such a thing where you almost need to make sure that you're drafting linebackers for your scheme. And the hard part about that is because we've seen so many turnovers in coaching, your scheme changes every time a coach comes in.
Yeah.
So like last year, and that's the one thing that really got me from the Cowboys standpoint. They knew their soft spot was linebacker last year. They could have went out and traded for a linebacker or done some other things to get another linebacker. Instead, what do? They drop down a safety to play linebacker. Now, in some games it worked. In other games, he was horrible. Disappeared because he was too light in the ass. So you can't always, make these changes without making these changes. And it kills me because I'll be the first one to sit here and bang the table against anybody who wants to come on the show and talk to me about the Cowboys and how, they're just trying to manage through the salary cap. Horseshit. Other teams sign all their players and have no problem paying free agents to try to get over the hump.
You are not scared to go in ham on Uncle Jerry. That you have been very passionate about that.
I'm a Cowboys fan first and foremost, but when it comes right down to it, I will call them out. I'll call them out. If we have it's impossible to be a 500 club anymore in the NFL. So
no, you can't be.
We would. I think this year we're either going to be 8-9 or 9-8.
Really?
Oh yeah. And if it's above that, if we have 10 wins or 11 wins, I will be absolutely surprised. And the reason why I'll be absolutely surprised because Jerry has already come out and said it that Dak wants $60 million. Dak has come out and said, no, I don't. I don't want to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He said, I'm fine with being in the average top five.
So why are you trying to stir crap up?
Because that's what Dallas does. Look at what they also did. You've got two other players, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons, who are due contracts.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Both of them are on their fifth-year option this year. So, or CD this year is on his fifth year.
And
Micah's on his fifth year next year.
And both have certainly earned a payday.
Exactly. But what was released from in the off-season, in the friggin' off-season, they started talking about trading Micah and how there's going to be a lot of people at the Star that would like to see that happen because of how much trouble he creates. This is the Cowboys' MO. You get a good player, you bash his ass to try to make him take less, and then when he doesn't, you wind up paying more because instead of paying him early, you got to wait and pay him late. Well, guess what? That's going to cost you. This is the first time in a very long time that I've heard about a franchise quarterback, which Dak is. I don't give a shit what anybody says. If you're in the top 10, you're a friggin' franchise quarterback. If you're in the top 15, you're a franchise quarterback. Dak is in the top 10. First time in a very long time I'm hearing about a franchise quarterback possibly being shown the door and not staying with the club for the rest of his tenure in the NFL. And everybody out there who could hear me, I will be just like Angry Cowboys. He does a podcast, and I'll say it loud and proud. If you think Dak is a problem, you're full of shit. Watch what happens with the next quarterback. It's going to be the same damn thing because Jerry Jones has a bad habit of paying his quarterbacks, which isn't a bad thing, but then always crying poor when it comes to paying other players to put players around him to win a Super Bowl. This jackass, I always thought Jerry wanted to win another Super Bowl. Horseshit. What Jerry wants to do is keep his team relevant. That's what he's after. Keep my team relevant and at least have a good showing. Because if he wanted to win a Super Bowl, he would have fucking done something last year when it came down to it to give other players or to bring on other players around the team to make a Super Bowl push. He didn't do a damn thing. Who did they sign before the trade deadline? Nobody. Who did they trade for? Nobody. What did they do? Nothing. Other teams were trying to stack up to get ready. They did absolutely jack shit. So in my eyes, in the NFL, it's not what you say, it's what you do. Mm-hmm. That all in was bullshit. Straight and plain. And yeah, I'll remain a Cowboys fan, but just like I've done in the past, I'll find another team that I watch a little bit because I know this team that I have that I'm a fan of
ain't doing shit.
Until Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones gets their asses out of there, they'll never do a damn thing. They'll never lift a damn finger to make the moves necessary to put them over the top. Not going to happen. And they're going to cry about the salary cap and how they can't pay this guy and how there's only so much that I could horseshit. Every year. You know how much salary cap the Cowboys have right now? $6 million. You know how much they could have? $65 million. Everybody has broken it down exactly how they can do it, and they refuse to.
How they can restructure?
Yes. They don't do it. 31 other teams in the NFL do it.
Oh, my team does it all the time.
All the damn time. But yet, for whatever reason, Cowboys are just like, oh, nope, we can't do this. Nope, we can't do that. They're full of shit. And everybody who sits there and says, oh, well, they're up against the salary cap. Look and see what's going on. I hate people. I'll be right up front. I can't stand Cowboy fans. Okay, I can't stand some Cowboy fans.
No, every fan base has people in your fan base that you just sometimes really want to just slap and be like,
there's one dude I want to hit with a fucking truck.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Well, because he's sitting there telling me how, they got the salary cap. And I even posted exactly from 3 different websites how they broke it down, how the Cowboys can make $65 million in cap space. And they didn't do it, and they're still crying poor. And that was, by the way, signing Dak, CD, and Micah Parsons, and still having $65 million in cap space today. So,
And we know nothing. All we do is just host a sports show. That's all we do.
I don't know jack shit.
That's all we do. We host a sports show and commentate a 7-on-7 football league with no pads and no helmets. That's all we do.
Man, A7FL is going to be fun this week.
Oh boy. Which you can
May the 4th be with you.
Which you can catch us tomorrow.
All these teams better, be careful of the revenge of the 5th.
Yes, you can catch us tomorrow as we will talk about the upcoming events in A7FL. And also while we're here, something new. So, Knox.
Something borrow, something blue.
No, something new. No. So this coming Sunday, my co-host of the Mizzle and Dove Show, Mizzle, Knox, and JP of the All Pro Jaffos, they're going to have their own Manning cast during the Sick Insomniacs game.
Oh, God.
So things that Scott would like to say and you would like to say, we can't, but they will.
They will.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm good with that.
I'm just trying to promote that.
You know what? And the thing about it is I love Josh because he's going to say what's on his mind.
Yes.
He doesn't care. He's like me. Don't give a rat's ass. I mean, how many times have we been told on our podcast, oh, you can't say this and you can't say that? It's like, dude, I'm not listening to you. I don't give a shit.
Well, it's almost...
People called me out the last time I was on the show.
Yes.
They called me out and said, oh, well, yeah, how come it couldn't be that we just beat them? And it's like, dude, I'm not going to listen. Oh, now you're in your feelings. I'm like, dude, you had to be in yours first to even say anything.
Feelings.
Yes.
Nothing more than feelings.
Oh, we can't just beat a team?
Well, yeah.
Y'all
just
go out and beat them.
But we just are trying to,
How come you're not talking about me more? Make some plays. Maybe I will. Dude. I've never seen so many grown men. When I played, dude.
By the way, Philly is up 74-70 in the third quarter.
And Orlando's at halftime is 47-48.
47.
Finally a good game
Cleveland.
so far.
Yeah. And,
it's only halftime, man. Something could happen.
And Toronto and Boston still tied 1-1 in the third period. And real quickly before we say ta-ta for now, and again, catch us tomorrow on the other side of the ball, on the Other Side of the Ball YouTube channel.
Oh, Mizzle, yep. Yes, sir. Prepare.
Yeah, well, he's not. That's what he likes to do. Okay, so real quickly, baseball scores in the 7th. Red Sox over the Giants 4-0. Rockies and Marlins tied at 5.
The meaningless stuff.
Yes.
Until September.
Yes. In game 2 of the doubleheader, Tigers lead the Cardinals 9-6 in the 7th. Royals. The Crickets have arrived.
Thank you.
Royals.
It's true.
Up 4-1 the Blue Jays in the 8th. Cubs and the Mets. Mets up 4-1 in the 7th. Twins and White Sox tied in the 5th. Brewers 6-1 over the Rays in the 5th. Nationals Rangers tied in the 4th. Guardians Astros tied 3-3 in the 4th. In the first doubleheader game between the Cardinals and Tigers, the Cardinals won 2-1. Orioles beat the Yankees again 4-2. Diamondbacks Dodgers in about 32 minutes. Same with the A's and the Pirates. Phillies and Angels, and unfortunately, get well Mike Trout torn his meniscus, so he'll be having surgery. He'll be out for the foreseeable future.
And he'll be back before the end of the season.
He will, but unfortunately, that takes away from the Harper Trout Manu matchup.
They
also,
still suck.
Yes, the Phillies are 19-11.
I'm not talking about the Phillies.
Oh yeah, the Angels.
Talking about baseball.
Hey, some of us like it. Okay,
we don't get us wrong. We like baseball
in September.
Exactly. You can't. How many games are there
for the season?
Yeah,
162.
Okay, and how many games
and he
have
still
they
has
already
10
played?
more scores to read.
And how many games?
Just 2 more.
And how many games have they already played?
It depends. No, high 30s. Because
high 30s. So we still got 132 more games to play.
Yes.
That's why we were talking about come September, both of us become baseball fans.
I understand it.
But until then,
I get it. But there's people that might watch this show that might like baseball like I do. So I'm just doing a service and giving scores.
Okay. What's the last two?
Braves and Mariners starting on. Well, turn out the lights. The party's over. Turn out the lights. The party's over. Braves and Mariners in the nightcap. Also Reds and Phillies. And don't forget 6:30 Bucks Pacers game 5 as the Pacers try to put the Bucks out of their misery. Dame and Giannis will not be playing. And now here's the ultimate question. If they do lose, do they bring back Glenn Doc Rivers? That's the ultimate question.
No.
He made a mistake by coming back mid-season with the team.
Yep.
And there you have it.
But I think you have to bring him back. Because then you can be paying 3 coaches.
Oh, that's right, because they got to pay the coach that they let go, and Doc, and the new one.
And Doc, and the new one. And you might be still paying Budenholzer.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, without Giannis, I mean, that's a big loss.
It is.
That's a huge loss.
It is.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
But, all right.
But Mike got fired last year after losing Giannis in the first round. They lost in the first round to Miami. It wasn't his fault they lost, and they still let him go. So who knows what they're doing in Milwaukee.
Jimmy Butler had a lot to do with that because he went off in that series against the Bucks.
Yeah, but if Giannis would have never got hurt, it could have been a totally different
I would
series.
agree.
Hey, I won't disagree with that. Anyhow, thank you for chiming in, and good luck to your teams that are still in the playoff fight. Golden Knights, get it together.
Team won't be.
Win on the ice in Game 5 and try to close it at home on Friday. Anyhow, thank you to Quantum 59 as always as we dip out, gas break, dip, no breaks. For Chris, I'm Dub.
Asta.
See you next week. We're just 2 guys talking some ish.
With shiny heads.
Shiny bald heads.
Dildos.